Good morning, everyone, and thanks for having us, Daniel and the DX team. It's a pleasure to be here. Um, my name is Chaim Schiff. I'm the co-CEO of The Elephant. The Elephant is, as we see, the tokenized secondary market platform. Where we're talking about secondary market, basically what we're talking about is private companies that are creating more and more value, staying private for longer times. This is a relatively new industry because until 15 years ago, when a company created value, it ran off to an IPO and created liquidity. And during the last 15 years, we see that more and more companies are staying private for longer, creating more and more value. We're talking about hundreds of unicorn companies, that is private companies that are worth over $1 billion, still staying private. 10 years, 12 years, sometimes even longer. This is an industry that's grown over 600% during the last decade, and investors finding themselves sitting on great investments that they entered into, very happy with how the business is developing, but are not able to actually take advantage of this incrementation of value. This is where we want to step in. This is, we're a secondary market platform. We want to connect these sellers with accredited investors that want to buy into these opportunities. It's an online platform. It's a marketplace for the shareholders to liquidate their shares. And we're doing it using a unique legal structure of a specific dedicated holding vehicle for each one of these blocks. We're doing that in order to take this block and break it down into smaller stakes. That allows more and more investors to come in, because when you need to make a decision on smaller amounts, still you're an accredited investor, you want to invest into these shares. And that's how we do it, through using this single purpose vehicle. What we want to do is we also want to provide you as an investor. Investor steps into the shoes of the sellers, and you're now the owner of these shares. We want to provide you a more complete solution. And that's why we're connecting these SPVs, these holding vehicles, to the up-and-coming security token world. When we're talking about security tokens, we're talking about digital tokens that are asset-backed. They're working within the regulatory environment, and they're asset-backed, meaning you're not dependent on the token itself. You actually have an asset backing your investment. It just provides you better liquidity solutions. And by connecting these two great worlds, the secondary market, as we discussed, is fast growing, and the up and coming digital token, security token world, we're bringing the most lucrative investment opportunities into and connect them to the digital security tokens. People say you can tokenize anything, right? But it doesn't mean that people are going to want these tokens. We want to bring the assets that everybody wants to invest in and connect them to these security tokens. Just a quick explanation of how it works. If I have, let's say, a block of $10 million of Airbnb shares, okay, and the selling shareholder wants to liquidate them. From the other side, we have the accredited investors that want to invest into these shares. They send their funds into these SPV, which buys the shares from the shareholder, and are issued dedicated tokens that are backed by the shares, by these Airbnb shares. Once we've created this token, we're connecting it to the liquidity solution that are provided by the security token world, whether through our platform, whether connecting it to security token exchanges that are up and coming, Dx, for example. And by doing that, we're not only giving you access into these investments, we're providing you with an investment opportunity that is also liquid. So when we're talking about the advantages of using this model is, first of all, like I said, expanding liquidity to the investors. The shareholders now have a bigger variety of potential investors into these that want to buy these shares. And the investors that come into this opportunity are not suffering from the liquidity discount that is involved with having a non-liquid asset, which ranges between 20 to 40%. Again, using this dedicated special purpose vehicle, we're allowing you as an investor, we're allowing more and more investors to come into this opportunity because we're able to. What? I'm wrapping it up. Okay. So we're giving you opportunities that you were not able to have before, and basically by lowering the entrance thresholds, you can create your own diversified pre-IPO fund. These are just some of the shares that are listed on our platform. We're talking about unicorns from around the globe. Our partners are coming from both worlds, from the from the secondary market. Give me 1 minute and I'm done. No? Okay. So we're connecting to the secondary industry and to up and coming blockchain and security token exchanges and world. This is our team. We're talking about decades of experience from all aspects: business, entrepreneurship, legal, tech, marketing, and that's it. Thank you, everybody.
I'm from the Elephant. Thank you very, very much. Judges?
Actually, hang on a second. We have some questions.
We
it's
have
a Q&A.
little questions
okay,
from the judges.
listen, everybody out here, how many of you guys own crypto? Anybody here own crypto? Okay, actually, quite a few. How many of you guys own a security token? 2 people. Okay, so here's my question to you. You mentioned that you said that there's got to be adoption and that you're looking for the best security tokens out there to be able to be on your platform. But you didn't mention how you're going to get that. How do you get these people to convert from utility tokens to get the tokens that are actually you want them to hold? How are you going to do that?
Okay. First of all, the security token world is limited to accredited investors, and that's something that goes by the definition of a security token and by the fact that you need to work within the regulatory environment. When we're talking about why would utility token holders want to change to holding security tokens, it's very simple. When we're talking about utility tokens, we have all seen what happened in the utility token world during the last year. When you're talking about a security token, you have a token that is actually backed by a real asset. I don't need to explain to you what is Uber share and what is the value that is behind it. I don't need to explain to you what is Airbnb shares. It's just providing you a liquid investment opportunity in assets that are not liquid, fractionizing them, giving access to people that were not able to invest in the first place. That's what we want to bring into the market.
One more question, please. Can I just ask briefly what your background is and what you feel that you're bringing to this team?
Okay, so on a personal level, I'm a former lawyer. I was involved in international corporate transactions for about a decade. And then during the last decade, I was involved in entrepreneurship and management of private and public companies, and served on boards and all kinds of titles. And as I mentioned, our team is comprised of people that have vast experience from all areas. If we're talking about entrepreneurship, we're talking about marketing, we're talking about financial, we're talking about operations, we're talking about tech development. Our team basically encompasses all these attributes with decades of experience.
One more question over here. What's the status of your ICO and what's the economy of your token? How does it connect it to your great idea?
Okay, I did not speak about our STO. It's not an ICO, it's an STO. It's a security token offering. We are now launching basically an STO, trying to raise funds for the platform, to grow the platform, to bring in more investment opportunities, more investors and tech development. Again, it's open only to accredited investors. We're now launching it, and you talk about the token economy, so it's really simple. It's revenue sharing. Our investors are entitled to 25% of top line revenues of the platform. That's the economy. So if you think that our platform is going to pick up, the platform makes money from transactions, from management fees, from carried interest in all these assets that are being traded on the platform, and it makes money. The investors are our partners in the platform.
And do we have any questions from the audience? Okay. Yes. Stand up.
Just interested in how scalable it is. There we go. So my name's Alex McDougall from Bicameral Ventures in Toronto. I'm just interested in how scalable this is if you're creating a specialized purpose vehicle partnership for every individual block of shares. That just seems very cumbersome from an actual legal perspective, and then tokenizing that on the back end. So just interested in what sort of goes into actually creating that vehicle.
This is exactly why we want to connect to blockchain technology. Apart from being able to connect it to digital tokens and liquidity solutions, it gives us the ability to scale it up while keeping the costs down. When instead of taking all the burdensome paperwork for each one of these and basically putting that into a smart contract that allows us to create the investments, to trade these tokens, to all of that, that's exactly our answers to scalability.
Thank you very much, Chaim. We're looking forward to seeing the progress of the elephant.